Hello, hello. This is Pastor Tim Welsh again, and we're back for our third episode of Floating Bread Ministries. So nice to have you guys back. May the Lord bless you guys. So today, we just got done talking about Israel and the prophecies in the Bible associated with the nation of Israel. Today, we're going to talk about the Edomites, the ancient Edomites. So, who are the Edomites? Who are these guys? They kind of descend from Esau. If you want to picture like a rugged land of red cliffs stretching south of the Dead Sea, that's Edom. So according to the Bible, the Edomites trace their roots back to Esau, and that's Jacob's twin. Remember the hairy one, and Jacob kind of pretended to be him. So archaeology backs up a settled kingdom here about 1300 BC. Tons of copper, that's kind of like the red cliffs where they come in, that area, perched along the King's Highway trade route. And so defended by strongholds like Bozrah and the cliff fortress of Sela. And so that is the Edomite area, okay, just south of the Dead Sea. So we know a little bit about like the area, but who were these Edomites? Edom grew wealthy by taxing caravans that were carrying incense, spices, metals, things like that. But prosperity made a lot of enemies for the Edomites. Israelite kings such as David, Amaziah invaded, and later Babylon's armies kind of rolled through. And by the 6th century BC, Edom's grip had weakened, and many Edomites drifted west into the Negev desert, and that's where they became known as the Idumeans. So we have these Edomites kind of drifting into the desert. They became known as the Idumeans, and then enters Petra, their capital city, also called the Rose Red City. It's kind of high on a plateau above the Wadi Musa. It sits the El Biara, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, Edomite era refuge. But after Edom's decline, the Arab people called the Nabateans kind of seized the spot, renamed it Petra, in essence, and carved palaces, tombs, and temples straight into the sandstone. So this is that archaeology. You can see the picture there. Those sheer walls plus ingenious dams, tunnels, and let them kind of stockpile water and turn Petra into the Silk Road of the desert. So there's actually prophecies in the Bible concerning Petra. So Esau, Jacob's brother, founded Edom in about 1800 BC, and that's in Genesis 36:8. 350 years later, in 1450 BC, Edom refused to help Israel pass through her land. And in Numbers 20, that's recorded. And so Edom delighted in persecuting Israel. Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Joel, Amos, and Obadiah, all in the Bible, condemned Edom. Petra was Edom's strongly fortified capital city, built in this rock cliff, as we talked about, accessible only by a very narrow entrance. This made them feel like they were invincible. And so Muhammad actually captured Petra in 636 AD. It then became desolate. And all these events were actually prophesied in the Bible. So these were prophesied in the Bible. So starting off in 713 BC, Edom was to become a desolation. It says, thorns shall come up in her palaces. This is in Isaiah 34:13. Then in Isaiah 34:13 through 15, a little bit later on, it says, wild animals will inhabit Edom. It shall be a habitation of dragons, okay? In 713, it also said in Isaiah 34:10, commerce will cease in Edom. None shall pass through it forever. Then we go to 600 BC, right kind of before Muhammad here, or right after, it says, spectators will be astonished in Petra. Edom shall be desolate. It shall be desolation, kind of personified, is the way that scripture reads in Jeremiah 49:17. Everyone that goes through it will be astonished. And it actually says, shall be astonished. These words will come to pass. In 600 BC, in Jeremiah 49:18, it says, never to be populated again. No man shall abide there. Then in 590 BC, Israel would conquer Edom. I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. That is in Ezekiel 25:14. This seemed a crazy prediction because Israel was then captive in Babylon. And so why? It's kind of crazy. Yet 400 years later, Judas Maccabeus invaded and killed thousands of Edomites. Then 587 BC, Edom to have a blood history. Blood shall pursue thee, it says in Ezekiel 35:6. And then in 590 BC, Edom was to become desolate as far as the city of Teman. And it says, I will make it desolate from Teman in Ezekiel 25:13. So you can see these prophecies and the maps are absolutely amazing. People can go visit Petra and what's left of it. The archaeological discoveries are amazing. It's some Indiana Jones stuff kind of featured in some of the movies. But nonetheless, we see once again another ancient nation, prophecy and fulfillment in the Bible. God is amazing. His words never change. They're the same yesterday, today, and forever. He foretells the future from the past and proves that once again, He is God. Thank you, and God bless you guys. Have a wonderful day.